Hi, and welcome to a different kind of Design Space Friday with Shirley Ross. We are going to first look at the project before I show you how to do it in Design Space so that you can get a feel for what it's going to look like at the end. It's a cute little box. It has this cute little V at the top. This is my prototype. So the back may come undone, but I'm going to fix that with a better adhesive. But the cool thing is it's all one piece. As you can see, as you open it, the top opens and you can put your goodies in there, but it's all together, one piece. I just fell in love with it when I saw it on the Paper Pixies YouTube channel, and I thought I can create that in Design Space. So let's go over to Design Space and do that now. Bye.
Hello and welcome to Design Space Friday with Shirley Ross, and welcome to my first video for 2018. I'm excited to be back. We are going to make what's called an impossible box. The box, this is the bottom, this is the body, and this section makes the closing mechanism for this section, which is the lid. So when you push down, it closes the box, and when you pull up, it opens the box. I saw this on the Paper Pixies YouTube channel. So if you want to check her video out, I wanted to be able to create several of these because I like to do a goodie box for my crops, and I thought this would make a perfect goodie box. So what we're going to do first is start out with a shape, the free shape. So we're going to pick the square. I am going to change the color of the square to white just so it will show, the score lines and cut lines will show better for you. I am going to change the unlock it so that the proportion so that we can make the height and width whatever we want, and we are going to make it at 8.5 by 8, and then of course we're going to move it to the 1 in 1 position. I'm going to move this over just a little more excuse me, so that it's easier to put the score lines in if I know exactly where they're going to be located, not have to eyeball them. So the next shape we're going to do is we are going to add some score lines and cut lines. So our first one is going to be a score line, and it is going to be scored all the way down at the moment, but we will shorten that soon because we are going to cut some sections out. In fact, why don't we cut those out first? So let's bring in another square, unlock it, and what we're going to do is to make it 1/2 inch. The first one is 2 inches, so we'll do that. So we will move this to the 1 in 1 position. And it's easier right now to slice because we don't have anything but that one score line. So it'll be easier to just select. So we'll do a shift and click so that I can select both of those and slice. Remember, slice only works when you are using 2 items. So we're going to keep that because we'll need it. And we're going to arrange this to the back. And then the other section is going to be this section right here. So this is 3 inches down. So we are going to take that piece, and it is going to stay as a 2 inch. As you can see, there's 1 inch at the where the lid's going to be. So we are going to move it to the 6 wrong side, the 1 and 6. And see, that puts it right there. So we'll have this little flap and this little flap, and you'll see that in just a moment. So we'll hold down the shift and click and do a slice, and that slices out our second piece. So now we have this look. This is for the lid and this is for the box, and those are the tabs that you're going to use to attach. Let's arrange it to the back so that brings our score line up. So now we're going to put a score line here and a score line here. So what we want to do is to move this over to the 1.5, and we want it to be at 3, and we want it to be just 3 inches. All right, and then we will duplicate that, and we are going to put it at the 1.5 and 8. We are going to make it 1 inch. And so now we have the score line here and here. That was pretty easy. So now we're going to we'll duplicate the larger one because now we're going to put in the 3 cut lines that go across the top. So we're going to first change this to a cut line. And all you do is click on the little circle. This is a score tool, and this is your cut line. So we've got that changed. And now what we're going to do is move it, and it is going to be at 2.5 inches over. So remember, that's the 1/2 inch. So we're going to put this one at 3.5. No, let's not do 23.5. 3.5. And we're going to put it at the 1. So it's right there. And it is only going to be 2 inches. So we have the first cut line. Then we're going to duplicate it. And this time we are going to put it at the 5.5 and the 1. And then we're going to duplicate it. And we are going to put it at the 7.5 and 1. So now you see you have 2, 2, 2, 2, and then the 1/2 inch flap that will secure your box. All right, so now we want to do the score lines that go all the way through the rest of the project, and we're going to duplicate a score line versus duplicating one of the cut lines. So we are going to duplicate, and again, we're going to pretty much put it in the same positions that we had the others. So it's 3.5, but this time we're going to put it at 3, and we are going to make the length, and if I remember correctly, the length is going to be 6 inches. And that's correct. And then we'll duplicate it, and we're going to put it at the 5.5 and the 3, and duplicate. And we're going to put this at the 7.5 and 3. So now we have all of our score lines going through this section of it. Now, what I'm going to do is, well, it's already been turned, so I'm not going to turn it again because that'll be too confusing. What I will do is select all of this that we've already done, and we're going to group it. I'm not going to attach yet because we are going to be doing some slicing in a few minutes, and when we do that, I want to be able to just real quickly ungroup and slice, and then we will attach everything. So we are going to turn it 90 degrees, and now the tabs you can see are at the top. So we are going to work with the score lines that are going this direction. So we're going to start with a score line. I find I like doing the score lines, leaving them vertical instead of having to turn them. This is a little trick that I've learned recently, and I really do like it a lot. So what we're going to do first is make sure this is at 1 and 1, so that it'll be easier to attach all of our score lines where we want them. So we are going to position this one at 2 and 1.5 because we don't need to take the score all the way to the top. Excuse me. And so we know it's 8.5 this way, and we take out that 1/2 inch. So we know we only need this to be 8 inches along the score line. So that's our first score. And then we're going to duplicate that score line, and we're going to put this one at 3 and 1.5. And we don't have to do anything else because it's the same length. And then we're going to duplicate. And this one is going to go at 4 and 1.5, but not 15, 1.5. That comma and me get in the way sometimes. Then we're going to duplicate it. And this time the whole body is 3 inches. So we're going to put it at 7 and 1.5. That should be all of them. There's the bottom. That's the body. Those are all the score lines you need for the, for the lid. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do, is the triangles. Now, the triangles are going to go straight across from both edges of this, from the lid to the body, but it's only going to go halfway up. So if you remember, these are each 2 inches. So we are going to do it at 1 inch. So this is where we're going to make our triangle look a little different. We are going to take the proportions off. The width is going to be 2 and the height is going to be 1. And you see how that makes it a nice and squishy looking rectangle. And so then we're going to put it at 2, and we are going to move it up to 3.5. Oh, sorry, that would put the top at 3.5. Sorry, we are going to put it at 2.5. So now you see you have the triangle perfectly centered in that section where it needs to be, and it goes halfway up because it's only an inch, and this is an inch, 2 inches. So then you can take this, let's ungroup our white section, give it a minute. Of course, everything gets moved around, so we're going to arrange the white piece to the back. We are going to select our rectangle, grab our box, and we're going to slice. And we're going to keep this one, and we're going to delete that one. And now again, we're going to arrange the box to the back. All right, so the next one is going to be here. So we are going to move it to 2. And this time we're going to put it at 4.5. And see how it fits perfectly? So we've already got that selected. Hold your shift, click on the box, and you have the 2 selected. And we are going to keep this one and delete that one and arrange our box to the back. And now we're going to select the rectangle for the last time, and we are going to put it at 2, and we are going to put it at 6.5, and we are going to select the box, slice, and we are going to delete and delete. Do I need one more? Yeah, and we need one more. Sorry about that. So let's undelete one of those. That's what undo is for. So we will keep the white one this time, and we will put it at, it's already at 2, so let's put it at 8.5, and shift and hold, and click, and slice. And there we go. Now let's arrange this to the back so that you can see all of your score lines. And all you need to do now is to hold down the shift key and select everything that's there and attach. And you have created an impossible box. That was pretty quick and easy, and I hope you enjoyed it. And check out my blog where you're going to see more on this and some pictures. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.